story right now. A 27-year-old woman accused of selling children for sex. Police arrested this woman at her apartment off of Upper Riverdale Road. That's in Jonesboro. Jocelyn Cannell live for us this morning covering that story. Jocelyn, good morning.
Good morning, Brandon. And it doesn't look like that woman will be leaving the Clayton County Jail anytime soon. She faces very serious charges, and more charges could be filed later today. Now, police arrested 27-year-old Jessica Washington after they say she forced two teen girls who were living with her to perform sex acts with men for money. A social worker tipped off the GBI. Police have charged Washington with child sex trafficking, enticing a child for indecent purposes, and keeping a place of prostitution and pimping. And they say additional charges are pending. We could hear about those later today. Now, one of the girls, only 14 years old, she is safe this morning and receiving the appropriate care. But police say the other girl, a 16-year-old, has not been found. Even more alarming, Washington's apartment where the alleged abuse happened is just feet from a playground. Neighbors say they are in shock.
Pimping children? That's insane.
For another woman to do it to another up-and-coming woman, that's animalistic. It's just unreal.
Yeah, now we're going to let you know if more charges are filed later today, and we'll also keep you updated on the search for that second girl. We're live at the Clayton County Jail. Jocelyn Cannell, Better Mornings Atlanta.
Jocelyn, a woman from Jonesboro is charged with sex trafficking. She makes her first court appearance. Investigators arrested Jessica Washington yesterday when a social worker told agents that she was making teenage girls work as prostitutes. CBS Atlanta's Craig Bell was in the courtroom today, and Craig joins us now this afternoon. Good afternoon, Craig. Do we know how these children were exploited?
Good afternoon to you, Stephanie. The GBI says these children were forced to have sex for food and a place to stay. Now, I spoke with one child care advocate who's been on the front lines for the last 12 years of the sex trafficking fight, and she tells me, sadly, this is common, but there is help. As Jessica Washington made her way into court.
The news?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm on the news right now?
Yes, ma'am. She was not happy at all to see our cameras.
Keeping a place of prostitution.
The judge read a laundry list of charges that Washington is facing, including trafficking of a person for labor or servitude, enticing a child for indecent purposes, and keeping a place of prostitution and pimping, all allegedly perpetrated against girls 14 and 16 years old.
No one wakes up at 14, 15, and 16 and just chooses to be prostituted.
Sharon Joseph is executive director of Youth Sparks, an advocacy agency that fights to rescue and keep abused and exploited children from falling victim to sex trafficking. Joseph is saddened by what Washington is accused of.
It wasn't surprising, but that's the shame of it all, because we see these cases often.
In this case, GBI investigators were able to save the 14-year-old girl from Washington's care. Joseph is concerned, however, investigators have not located the 16-year-old child.
I fear that, one, she may be retaliated against by anybody that is involved in this network of trafficking. I fear that she won't be able to find her way to safety.
Joseph tells me the realities of what happens to these children are horrific.
Every day that a child is prostituted, and sadly for many of these girls, and I want to say, and boys also, who are being prostituted, we're talking about 10 and 20 Johns, and sadly I am going to use that word, per night.
That's why Joseph says we should all be outraged by what Jessica Washington is accused of, but adds there is help.
In order to get, to get food, to get shelter, they don't have to be taken in by people like the person that did this to these two girls.
Now tonight at 6, Ms. Joseph tells us how you can spot the signs of sex trafficking and how easy it is for these teens to fall into prostitution. For now, we're live at the Clayton County Courthouse. Craig Bell, CBS Atlanta News.